Unaware the wife he insulted was about to seal a $50 billion deal, husband poured mud water on her after believing his mother's lies. What she did next shocked them both. He didn't insult her with words. He insulted her with certainty. A certainty built on lies whispered into his ear, day after day, until he could no longer hear his own wife's voice. He insulted her with a choice, one she didn't know he'd made until he stepped toward her holding a bucket he didn't fill himself. But before the mud water hit her skin, something far more important had already broken. His loyalty. It began hours earlier. The downtown Houston skyline glowed with the last streaks of sunset as Ariana Brooks sat alone in her office on the 47th floor of Titan Holdings, the city lights scattering across her desk like spilled diamonds. Piles of documents lined the glass surface, audit sheets, legal drafts, final valuation reports. Tomorrow morning, she would walk into a boardroom filled with national cameras and finalize a $50 billion merger. Tonight was supposed to be the night, she told her husband. She stared at the message she had typed and deleted a dozen times. "Babe, I have something important to share tonight." She sighed and locked her phone. No, she'd say it in person. He deserved that. And she deserved, she wasn't even sure anymore, something gentler than what she'd been getting. Her assistant knocked lightly. "Car is downstairs, Ms. Brooks." Ariana gathered her coat, her ID badge, and a stack of folders she would review once more before bed. She walked through the shimmering glass doors, nodding at the cleaning crew, stepping into the elevator with a mixture of nerves and relief. Tomorrow, everything would change. But she didn't know that tonight, everything would break. The Brooks household sat in a quiet suburb outside Houston. Wide lawns, trimmed hedges, an illusion of peace. When Ariana walked in, she immediately sensed the tension. The air felt crowded, like the house was holding its breath. She heard voices from the backyard. Her husband, Josh, speaking with someone. A woman's voice answering. Low. Sharp. Agitated. Ariana set her keys down silently. She stepped closer to the back sliding door and froze. Outside, beneath the patio light, stood Josh and his mother, Marie. Marie's hands chopped through the air as she spoke, pacing, shaking her head in disgust. Josh stood still, jaw tight, shoulders hunched like a scolded child. Ariana pushed the door open gently. Both turned. Marie didn't even pretend to smile. Josh stared at Ariana with an expression she had never seen, a blend of fear, hurt, and something darker. "Ari," he said, voice unsteady. "We need to talk." She blinked. "Okay, about what?" Marie scoffed. "You really want to play dumb?" Ariana's eyes narrowed. "What did she tell you?" Josh swallowed. "You weren't at the office today." Ariana froze. "What?" "You weren't," he insisted. "Mom drove by. You weren't there. And last week, you said you were in Denver for a meeting, but one of her friends said." Ariana's heartbeat faltered. Marie crossed her arms. "Women like you can't hide forever." Ariana stared at Josh in disbelief. "So you checked up on me?" Josh's face twisted. "I'm not stupid. You've been gone at all hours, secretive, always with your phone. Because my work is confidential," she snapped. "You know that." Marie stepped closer, voice dripping with contempt. "Your wife has been sneaking around, Joshua. I told you she was hiding something." Ariana turned to her. "My job involves non-disclosure. I can't explain every detail." "Lies," Marie spat. "You think I don't know what lying looks like? I lived through it with your father," she said to Josh. "And now you're living it with her." Ariana inhaled sharply, trying to keep her voice calm. "Josh, listen." He held up a trembling phone. Photos displayed on the screen. Ariana entering a hotel conference room. A man holding the door open for her. Her smiling politely. Her accepting a folder from him. Perfectly innocent work moments, framed as betrayal. Ariana stared, stunned. "Are you serious?" she whispered. "You're spying on me now." "Spying?" Marie barked. "Protecting my son." Ariana felt something inside her twist. Josh, if you thought something was wrong, why didn't you talk to me? He didn't answer. He looked at her like he didn't recognize the woman he married. Marie placed a hand on his shoulder. She doesn't respect you, she whispered. And you're too soft to see it. Ariana's voice cracked. Josh, please. Marie's expression hardened. In fact, she needs to be reminded how a real wife behaves. Before Ariana could react, Marie nudged a bucket toward Josh's feet, a metal one Ariana hadn't noticed. It sat under the patio light, filled with muddy water from the garden hose Marie had been using moments earlier. Ariana's stomach dropped. Josh. She took a step back. What are you doing? He breathed hard, chest shaking. I just need you to tell me the truth. I did. Marie snapped. Then prove it. Ariana held up both hands, backing toward the door. Josh, don't you dare. His hands shook. He lifted the bucket. Josh. He flung it. The cold, filthy water hit her full force, exploding against her face, her shoulders, her chest, soaking her blouse, dripping down her hair, slapping against the hardwood floor inside the house. She gasped, stumbling backward, muddy water splashing behind her like a shadow. Josh froze. Marie smirked. Ariana wiped her cheek with trembling fingers. When she looked up, something had changed. In her eyes. In her posture. In her soul. She spoke quietly. You just made the biggest mistake of your life. The patio light flickered above them as if the world itself had paused to watch the moment she stopped being the woman they thought she was. And somewhere inside her home, a phone vibrated on silent. A message from her attorney. All documents ready. Just waiting for your signal. A signal she was now ready to give. For nearly a full minute after the muddy water hit her, Ariana stood perfectly still. Not from shock, she had been shocked before. Not from humiliation, she'd learned long ago that humiliation is only power when you let the person who threw it watch you crumble. No. She stood still because she was done. She stepped inside the house, water dripping from her hair onto the tile. She didn't slam the patio door. She closed it gently, quiet enough for Josh to hear the difference between rage and resolve. The bathroom light flicked on. Ariana stared at herself, mud streaking down her neck and blouse. Strands of her dark hair clung to her cheek. Her reflection looked back with a question she had avoided for years. Why did you stay this small? Her chest tightened with memories, uninvited but sharp. 6 years ago. Ariana sat on a cheap couch in her first apartment, textbooks spread across the floor. Josh walked in with takeout, laughing, warm, kind. Back then, his mother lived in another city. Back then, he was gentle. They built dreams together on that couch. 3 years ago. Marie moved to Houston after a divorce. Josh changed almost instantly. Maybe don't aim for partner yet, he suggested softly one night. You don't want to outgrow us. Us. Not him. Them. Ariana swallowed her ambition for the first time. Not the last. The shower steamed the bathroom mirror, but Ariana wasn't rushing. Every drop of clean water washing away the mud felt like shedding a skin she had worn for too long. She scrubbed slowly, deliberately. When she stepped out, she wrapped herself in a robe and sat on the closed toilet lid. Her hands didn't shake. Her phone lit up. Attorney Davis. Everything prepared. Ready when you are. Ariana typed 2 words. Move now. She hit send. No hesitation. No fear. Only clarity. Josh paced across the patio, running both hands through his hair, mud water drying on the wood planks. Mom. I don't know if we should have. He couldn't finish the sentence. Marie crossed her arms. She pushed you too far. I warned you what she was doing. Josh swallowed hard. What if I was wrong? You weren't. Her tone was final, her face cold. Kayla, who had been watching silently, finally spoke. Josh, she looked broken. She'll get over it, Marie said. She just needs to be reminded who she married. But Josh wasn't convinced. The look in Ariana's eyes before she walked inside wasn't hurt. It was a promise. He rubbed his face. I need to talk to her. Marie grabbed his wrist. No. Not tonight. Her grip was iron. Kayla watched the exchange with quick, darting eyes, the kind of eyes that saw opportunity in cracks. Ariana stepped into their bedroom. She didn't look at the wedding photo on the nightstand. She didn't look at the bed they once shared. Instead, she knelt beside the dresser, pulled out a fireproof lockbox, and retrieved documents she had filed quietly over the past year. Property ownership. Bank statements. An account Josh didn't know she had. A prenup he had forgotten she asked for just to be safe. She placed them in a neat stack on the bed. Her breathing stayed slow and steady. Her mind was no longer at war. She walked to the living room, wiping the last drops from her hair. Marie and Kayla had left. Only Josh remained standing near the sliding door, pale, confused, scared. Ari, we need to talk, he said softly. She didn't stop walking. You should rest, she said calmly, passing him. Tomorrow will be a big day. He reached for her arm. Ari, wait. She stepped out of reach without raising her voice. Good night, Josh. For the first time in their marriage, she closed the bedroom door and locked it. The click echoed louder than any argument they'd ever had. Morning came too bright. At 5:42 a.m., sunlight crept through the blinds, sliding across the bedroom floor like a quiet reminder that the world keeps moving, even when marriages fall apart overnight. Ariana had barely slept, but she wasn't tired. Her mind was clear, sharpened, anchored by a purpose she should have chosen years ago. She dressed slowly, deliberately, navy suit, polished heels, hair pulled back with precision. She looked like the woman Titan Holdings trusted with a $50 billion merger. She finally looked like the woman she became when nobody in this house was watching. Behind the locked door, she heard Josh pacing in the hallway. Ari, can we talk now? Please. She didn't answer. Not because she was being cruel. Because last night, something had snapped that 100 apologies couldn't mend. When she finally opened the door, Josh nearly stumbled forward. Ari, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have listened to her. She brushed past him. I have work. Ari, please, he begged. Just talk to me. I thought you were. His voice cracked. I thought you were leaving me. She paused at the stairs. For a moment, she almost felt sympathy. Almost. I wasn't leaving you, she said softly, without turning around. You pushed me out. She walked out the front door before he could respond. Downtown Houston buzzed with unusual tension. News vans parked near Titan headquarters. Reporters gathered outside the glass lobby. Executives whispered in the hallways, tying their ties, fixing hair, refreshing statements on tablets. The corporate world already knew Ariana Brooks by name. The rest of the country was about to. As she stepped into the building, cameras turned, flashbulbs burst, and voices erupted. Ms. Brooks, can you confirm the merger total? Is it true you structured the valuation yourself? How long have you been leading Titan's negotiation team? Ariana didn't flinch. Her heels clicked across the marble, every step steady, controlled. She entered the elevator alone. For the first time in months, she didn't shrink herself. She didn't soften her edges. She didn't dim her brilliance. She stood tall, and the elevator mirrors showed a woman fully stepping into her power. Josh stared at the cold, empty coffee pot, hands trembling. His mother sat at the kitchen table, stirring cream into her mug as if the world hadn't just shifted under their feet. She'll calm down, Marie said. She always does. Josh shook his head, voice barely a whisper. You didn't see her eyes. Marie scoffed. Women get dramatic when they're guilty. But guilt wasn't what Josh saw. He saw certainty. He saw finality. He saw a wife who had stopped needing him. His voice broke. Mom, what if we ruined everything? Marie set her mug down, irritated. Joshua, I raised you better than to fall apart over a woman who's forgotten her place. Josh closed his eyes. Somewhere deep inside him, something cracked. On the 16th floor, executives filled the auditorium as cameras flashed like a storm. The newscasters had already prepared headlines. Titan Holdings finalizes historic $50 billion merger. Lead strategist Ariana Brooks to appear live at 9 a.m. When Ariana stepped onto the stage, a hush fell across the room. Her name appeared on the massive LED screen behind her. Ariana Brooks. Lead negotiator, Titan Holdings. Strategic architect, Brooks McKnight Acquisition. She took her place behind the podium, adjusting the microphone with calm hands. "Good morning," she began. "Today represents not just a merger of assets, but a turning point for the future of global logistics. Our goal." She spoke with precision, command, and confidence. 2 minutes into her remarks, phones buzzed quietly across the auditorium. A trending notification. A headline. A leaked clip. Not of Ariana. Of Josh. Of last night. Someone had anonymously circulated the porch security footage. Josh's voice shouting. Marie accusing. The bucket. The throw. Ariana collapsing backward. Her whisper. "You made the biggest mistake of your life." The audience's eyes widened. Executives stiffened. Reporters inhaled sharply. Ariana continued speaking, unaware her private nightmare had slipped into the public eye. But in homes across Texas, in offices, on social media, people were already choosing sides. And they weren't choosing Josh. Josh's phone buzzed violently on the counter. He picked it up and froze. The video. Thousands of shares. Hundreds of comments. His breath stopped. He looked at his mother. She went pale. "What is this?" Marie whispered. The world had witnessed what they thought was hidden. And in that moment, both mother and son realized. This wasn't about a misunderstanding anymore. This was about consequences. Consequences neither of them could outrun. By the time Ariana finished the press conference, her phone was vibrating non-stop. She stepped off stage, handing her microphone to an assistant, unaware of the chaos waiting for her. Lucas, her mentor and CFO of Titan Holdings, approached with a grave expression. "Ariana, don't panic," he said quietly. "But something's gone viral." She blinked. "What do you mean?" He lifted his tablet. And there it was. The porch footage, Marie accusing, Josh shouting, the bucket tilting, the mud exploding across her body, her hitting the doorway. Her whisper, "You made the biggest mistake of your life." Millions of views. Thousands of comments. #Team Ariana. #Stand with Ariana. #Leave him. Her humiliation had become a public storm, but the world wasn't laughing. They were furious for her. Ariana stared at the screen, breath caught somewhere between shock and relief. She didn't post the video. She didn't need to. Truth had defended itself. Lucas placed a hand on her shoulder. "Your attorney is in the lobby." She said it's time. Ariana nodded slowly, grounding herself. "Let's finish this." Josh opened the front door to find 2 officers and Attorney Davis standing with a thick envelope. "Joshua Brooks," the officer said. "You've been served." Davis spoke with calm authority. "Temporary orders filed. You are to vacate this residence immediately. Financial review has begun. All joint accounts are frozen pending investigation." Josh felt the floor tilt. "What? No, this is just a mistake. I need to talk to my wife." "You should talk to your lawyer," Davis replied. "Not her." Marie stepped forward, shaking. "You can't do this. She's blowing things out of proportion." Davis handed her a separate packet. "Actually, Mrs. Brooks, the DA is reviewing charges regarding coercion and defamation. You may want representation." Marie's face collapsed. Josh sank onto the porch steps, head in his hands. He finally understood. This wasn't Ariana getting emotional. This wasn't a fight. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This was the price of choosing the wrong truth. Ariana returned home that evening with Davis by her side. The sun was low, burning the Houston sky orange. The house felt different now, hers, fully hers. Josh stood in the driveway, shoulders slumped, suitcase by his feet. "Ari," he whispered. She stopped several feet away. He looked nothing like the angry man from last night. He looked lost, small, uncertain. "I'm sorry," he said, voice breaking. "I let her get in my head. I didn't trust you. I should have talked to you. I should have believed you. I didn't want to lose you." Ariana held her purse calmly. "You didn't lose me because of what you thought I did," she said softly. "You lost me because of what you did." He wiped his face. "I can change. I swear." She cut him off gently. "You didn't pour mud on me because you thought I cheated. You poured mud on me because you see my success as a threat." He froze. She continued, voice steady. "And I won't dim myself to make you feel taller anymore." He took one step toward her. She stepped one back. There was no hatred in her eyes. No rage. Only truth. "You didn't break me," she said. "You freed me." Her attorney gave a small nod. "It's time." Josh's knees buckled as he watched her walk past him without a second glance. The door closed behind her with a soft click, the kind that sounds quiet but changes everything. It was the sound of an ending. And a beginning. That night, Ariana sat in her living room, legs curled under her, cup of tea in hand. The same porch where she'd been humiliated now felt like reclaimed territory. Her phone buzzed with thousands of messages from strangers. "You deserve better. Proud of you. You handled that with grace." She smiled softly. For the first time in years, she felt free. A woman no longer hiding. A woman no longer apologizing. A woman finally stepping into the life she built with her own hands. Dear viewers, thank you for watching this story to the very end. If you've ever been misunderstood, betrayed, silenced, or forced to shrink yourself for someone else's comfort, then Ariana's story is for you. If you believe in standing up for yourself, if you believe no one deserves humiliation, if you've ever walked away from the wrong people, hit that subscribe button. It tells the algorithm that stories like this matter. It tells me that you stand with strong, resilient people who refuse to be broken. Before you go, answer these in the comments. Have you ever been blamed for something you didn't do? Have you ever realized someone you loved chose the wrong voice over yours? What did you do next? Your story might help someone else feel less alone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, so you never miss another story that hits straight in the heart.